Right there? You're not very comfortable, are you? Can you look at the camera at least? Yeah. G'day and welcome to Forgotten Tasmania. This is my annual YouTube 2022 rewind video where I'll talk about what happened in the year and what are my plans for the year ahead and share a bit of news. And Merlin has decided to join me, which is a good thing. This year's been quite interesting. On the sad news front, we lost my mother this year. She had a long illness, and that was quite a sad thing. But we're learning to cope with that. So the consequence of that is that I had to move out of my studio, which was in her house. Where BD Studio had been in the 90s, from 1993 onwards. It was in that house, and had come back again, which was great. But sadly, I've got to move out of that space, and that's why I'm in my house, which is, you can tell, pretty crammed in. And if I bring Merlin in here with me, he doesn't seem to bark, which means I can at least get a recording without dog barking in the background. So the game plan is to put a pod studio in the backyard. So that's basically a container with a studio built inside. And my lovely wife Katrina has agreed to rearrange the garden to make space for that. So I'm very, very fortunate to be able to get that into the backyard, and that'll give me a more professional space to record in once again. And so along those lines, I've also decided to standardise on mostly Australian-made, or at least Australian-designed equipment. So I've always been using Rode microphones like this one, and found them really great. And just recently, Blackmagic, who the camera that Brian uses to shoot my field footage, that's Blackmagic. They had one of those ridiculous specials that were too good to be true, so I scored the older base model of their studio camera, which is what I'm using today, and hopefully that will, here and there, hopefully that will, make things a little easier to look at and a little bit better quality. So we're looking forward to that as well, and it's nice to be able to support Australian equipment, especially in these times that we face at the moment. Don't they, Merlin? Yes. So I've got plenty of episodes planned. Didn't release all that many in 2022, but life just gets in the road sometimes. This is my retirement project, my passion project. So they come out when they're ready, as fast as I can make them. So the trains one was really well received. Thank you very much for all your positive feedback on that one, and it was certainly a lot of fun to make. The Bushrangers one is very nearly finished. We were going to shoot the last scene for that, and unfortunately had a funeral to plan. So, but we'll get back onto that ASAP, and the Bushrangers episode hopefully will be out early in 2023. I've started filming and writing for an episode on Murray Street. So the episode on Elizabeth Street was really, really popular. People seem to really love that one. It's my most popular video of all time, which is really great. But I wanted to do one on Murray Street with a different story to tell. I didn't want to just repeat the same sort of format. So, and I found the more I looked into the buildings in Murray Street that there was a different story to tell, because there's a different group or a different organisation behind the buildings and the developments in the 1800s in Murray Street. So it's a quite interesting story, and that'll be coming soon. What else is happening? I'm going to do an episode based on my brother's book, The Convict Days of Port Arthur, and his book was based on Beattie's lecture about Port Arthur. That was a lantern slide lecture. Beattie used to go around the various towns and set up with a lantern slide projector and show the slides the photos of Port Arthur, that both ones he'd inherited and ones he took himself. So there's some incredible photos there, including Port Arthur when there were still people living there. So that's an amazing thing. And of course, Beattie had Port Arthur former convicts working alongside him on his father's sheep farm, so he was able to talk to people who'd actually been imprisoned at Port Arthur, and so his accounts are regarded as a little less flowery than some of the others, and maybe a little more realistic. So anyway, there'll be an episode based on that, and lots of other things that we find along the way, of course. So I'm really looking forward to 2023. You can see I've got the plans for the pod studio on the wall behind me, and I've got my goals written up in my bullet journal. So I have planned for a good year. We will see what happens. But thank you so much for coming along the journey with me, and all the support that I get, and especially the corrections. When I get things wrong, that is a problem for us amateur historians. We do occasionally make mistakes, and I just love it when people chime in and go, well, actually, no, this happened this way, or that happened that way. And that's really great to get that, to correct the record, and also to expand the knowledge, and that often gives me new ideas on new places to go and new things to talk about on videos. So I love the feedback, and so have an amazing Christmas and an amazing New Year, and best wishes from all of us here at Forgotten Tasmania, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Cheers.